Oh, what's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be messing with this Yamaha Rhino special edition back here. I can't remember if it's an 06 or an 08. I'll have to figure that out for later. Anyway, so this thing, we bought it a few weeks ago, started it up to go for a ride, and at 15 miles an hour, if you gave it any more throttle than what 15 miles an hour requires, it would bog down and die. I did some fiddling with it, and I did find one thing. So like there was one day that I found the clamps for the intake tube, boot, whatever. They were loose, real loose. And then I did find that the linkage for the throttle was a little janky. You could push the pedal probably down like about halfway before it was getting throttle. Anyway, so I readjusted the throttle cable and was able to get it to do 25 miles an hour, but still the same scenario. If I gave it more than about a quarter throttle, it still bogs down and dies. But if you don't put more than 25% throttle, we rode around for 2 hours doing 25 miles an hour, and you wouldn't think anything's wrong with this damn thing at all. All right, so I'm thinking possibly it's a dirty carburetor jet, maybe the mid jet, because of when you're giving it more than a quarter throttle. I don't know, one of the jets. I don't know a whole lot about these. That's why this is going to be like a learn with me kind of video series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that carburetor out, and I'm going to clean the carburetor, and we're going to go from there. There's a bunch of other shit to check. You want to check your spark plug. You want to make sure that this, because they have a mechanical fuel pump on here, you want to check that mechanical vacuum fuel pump to see that it is flowing, because I've heard that under heavy acceleration, possibly they don't get enough vacuum, or there's trash in the line or something like that. You pull your gas tank, clean your gas tank, make sure none of the lines have pinholes in them, make sure none of the vacuum hoses have any pinholes in them. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, all the way down to, I saw one video where the guy was having the same symptoms, and it was the damn speed sensor. He unplugged the speed sensor let me flip you around. So like under this tunnel here is where the speed sensor is. And the guy, he was at his wit's end on this that I saw, and he unplugged the speed sensor and it started working fine. There also is a rev limiter sensor that some people say can screw with it. But here's the thing, y'all. Like, when it's in neutral, you can rev it. You can floor it all the way to the floor, and it does not die. It's only whenever it's in gear that it wants to have problems. So, all right. So with the center console off, this is what it looks like here. Person that I bought it from said this was a new carburetor. I believe him. It looks like a new carburetor, even though it's a little dusty from us riding. And another thing, this fuel pump here looked pretty new as well. But you have an inline filter here. You want to check and make sure that it's getting gas to it and it has flow. Another thing to check is to pull this one off and crank it to see if it pumps fuel to the carburetor, right? But anyway, so we got to get the throttle linkage out of here. There's a little trick to that. This is plastic. You want to be careful with it to get that out. This is your choke, main fuel here. This is a vacuum to the intake boot here. And this is a vent, and this is a vent. And there's a couple of plugs on the bottom. I'm not sure if those matter as to which one they stick on, but I will probably try to make some kind of a note like black towards the back, yellow towards the front, black towards the back, black towards the back. All right, so now these are Allen boot clamps here. So we want to get it's metric to, I want to say it's a 3 millimeter. Let me get it out real quick. It might not be, it might be the other one. Boom, 3 millimeter. Boom, 3 millimeter. Okay, so yeah, it's a 3 millimeter Allen, and these are the ball heads. I don't think it matters if you have the ball heads or not, but it helps with angles. Anyway, Holy schmoly, yeah, this thing's dirty as hell. Okay, so we might be able to fix this just by cleaning the carburetor, y'all. My suspicion about that loose boot causing some problems is definitely... Look at that on my finger. I don't know if the sun's putting a glare, but let me wipe my finger off. See how clean it is? Watch. That's the front end of the carburetor. So there's definitely some dirt in there, y'all. Kidding. I went and got a different Phillips head that has more bite in it. So I'm gonna apply an ample amount of force down. Make sure, there we go. There we go. There we go. Do not lose these screws. Unless you're a masochist and you just like to play hide and seek with stuff. I don't know. There we go. All right. So there's this little tab right here. I'm using that to turn it. And then let's pull this out. Release that. Okay, now this brass piece right here, you do not want to lose. You're going to need that, or else this throttle cable will not stick in here. Push it down a little bit, and it comes off. See what I mean? All right. We might need a new carburetor, y'all, because like this black piece down in here, I don't know if you can get a good look at it, but it doesn't look new. It looks kind of burnt up. I'm gonna need to get this piece off to push it back down to see. Hell, the problem might be the whole damn carburetor, or just that piece, right? I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's get this over somewhere where I can take it apart and we can start fiddle-dicking with it. All right, so we're gonna take this top part off here that has the part of this plunger thing here that goes up and down. Be real careful with these screws too. You don't put a lot of pressure on them because you don't want to strip them out. Some people use an impact screwdriver where you smack the back of it and it will do a little turn, like a quarter of a turn or whatever. So you don't want to lose these screws either, obviously. All right, there is a spring behind this. Another thing you don't want to lose. Okay, set him off to the side. Let's throw our screws down in there. Okay. All right, so this is the piece I was talking about. Let's push it. Let's push it down. Oh yeah, that doesn't slide very freely at all. how burnt the bottom of that is, and that was stiff in there. Like, this has gotten some heat somehow. Almost like, I want to say like it was a backfire and it melted it or something. But I mean, like this part right here doesn't seem to have any tears in it or anything. It just seems more like that this wasn't a smooth travel up and down. That's so crazy. I'm gonna try to maybe get some sandpaper or something and sand it down so that I'll have it working and possibly or until I can order a new carburetor. But yeah, that might be my problem. I might just be able to give this a clean. Let me go get some brake cleaner and I'll be right back. All right, let's put the carburetor over to the side. So I took my knife here and I've been working this area right here a little bit, making it a little more smooth and making those holes pronounced again. They were kind of covered up a little bit from the melting of this thing. So I got a couple of files that I was just gonna maybe like run over to try to make this smooth. I just want to see if that'll slide in and out a little better now. All right, yeah. That was stuck in there a second ago. So I'm not going to do much more work on it than that because I don't know if it's supposed to be a real specific tolerance on how tight it is. Just trying to get it where it'll move freely again. I'm not doing much more work. Probably just clean this off and then reinstall it now. But let's see if I can. You can see the little bit of grinding that I did on it. But it was completely stuck a second ago. Okay, that moves freely. All right, I'm just going to set that to the side because we do need to clean this thing now. All right, we need to get the jets out, so we got to get the bowl off. There is 4 Phillips head screwdrivers for that, or 4 Phillips head screws for that. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go walk over somewhere else, loosen this, and drain all the gas out of it that is in it. I have not done that yet, so I will be back when that happens. So there was no fuel in the fuel bowl, so that is a little alarming. There we go. It's the 4th and final screw for the fuel bowl. Okay, gentle. There is an O-ring underneath here. We are just going to reseat it in its spot. Yeah, there was no gas in there. Huh. All right. Well, I need to get my flathead now because we have these 3 that we have to get out and spray carburetor cleaner, or I don't actually have carburetor cleaner. I'm about to use brake parts cleaner because I am literally an hour from town, so use what you got. So I took the flathead piece out of this here. So the wire. some compressed air. So we're gonna just swap the needle over, or not needle, but straw, and all right. Now we are going to slap this joker back together and see what we got going on. Just a note, I wanted to add this. I took this plunger piece back off, or the cap for this plunger piece that goes in here. I took it off again because after I put it back together and I was practicing with it right here, it hung up a few times. So I wanted to grind it down a little bit more so I could get a more consistent, working mechanism every single time. So I just wanted to note that before I went over there and put it back on. All right, so I used a little shot of starting fluid to get it started, but this isn't anything new. It idled fine before, but now I just need to take it for a spin and find out if fixed whatever the hell it was. Off, brake off, and in gear. Let's go. All right, folks. Well, it seems like, however, that piece, that plastic piece got burnt. I don't know. Could have been before, could have been like during the week that I had it and it drove just fine. I don't really know, but that was full throttle. It took every bit of that juice and I could feel the power. So that was definitely my problem. Went ahead and cleaned up the carburetor to get all that mud and dirt out of there because you don't want that shit in there anyway. But hell, it looks like it's done. But there's going to be a whole series on this because I might even end up putting the Mr. Gasket electric fuel pump in here. I'm obviously going to have to cover the seats. I literally sat on it earlier. Nothing in my back pockets, and it cracked the damn leather seat. So I'm going to have to do something about that because you don't want a wet ass like if it rained or something the night before. We don't have anything to park it under, so that is it, y'all. We fixed the damn problem. So I didn't see this anywhere on the internet. I looked on forums, I looked on YouTube videos, all kinds of stuff. I never saw this scenario, so here it is for you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Peace.